You're watching Peninsula Beat. I'm Maria SERRAO. The San Ramon Canyon has been a hot topic of late, and our Mayor Susan Brooks had the opportunity to see the work being done firsthand as she took a tour of the canyon.
We are at the top of what is the trench, the pit, and there are some miners down there that are waiting for instructions that they get from the miners inside that are right now stuck on a rock. They're riveting through a rock with something like a jackhammer. And who in particular is doing the tunneling?
It's a company called Drill Tech.
Right, because I saw their trucks here the other day.
That's right. Drill Tech is a subcontractor to LH Woods. They specialize in tunneling and geotechnical engineering construction.
So here we are, we're getting down here toward the bluff top, and we just saw some hikers walk by, and one of the things the city has done is to maintain access for the trails. And what did you say, Andy, when in a couple of weeks, as this drill has to come in down closer, what will happen then?
That's right. When we finish the hole all the way down to the bottom, we'll move the crane a little bit closer to the edge of the bluff, and so we can do the work on the outlet structure. And then we'll have to create a little detour around the crane for the path, but we'll keep it open so people will be able to use it every day of the week, and it will be maintained.
Excellent. Let's go take a look over here at these metal, what are they, steel?
These are steel anchors. Buried in concrete.
What are these steel anchors here? What is the purpose of these?
You'll see, yeah, there's a steel anchor. It's buried in a concrete post there, and the cable is holding up, it's hard to see, but it's kind of like chain link fence that lays over the top of the bluff. Mm-hmm. And it's to protect the workers down below from rockfall, from things falling off the bluff. As we all know, these are very mobile bluffs. They're somewhat unstable at times with wind or rain events. We'll get debris falling down, so we want to protect the workers.
We're up near the top of the project, and as we look down here, we see this is the canyon. What's going on in here?
Well, we're actually bringing in material to restore the old stream bed elevation, bring the canyon level up to support our inlet structure, and to provide a path for overflow water. If we have a very big storm that exceeds the capacity of our pipe, it will run down this canyon in over stabilized ground using riprap.
Where is the pipe actually going to be? We're on the side of the switchbacks. The switchbacks are over there. So as I understand it, will be going underneath the switchbacks.
That's right. The pipe will pick up water from way up at the top of the canyon there, and the alignment of the pipe takes it underneath both of the loops of the switchbacks and ends up down where we were at the top of the bluff down there. So this is to the east of where the pipe is. That way is west there, and the pipe will run that way, and then overflow water, and then the natural drainage through the canyon will run down through here.
And you can see more with our mayor on City Talk every day at 9 p.m. And the search for a new home for the Peninsula seniors is finally over, and many of our local residents came out to support the seniors.
Coming to this area will be a boon to both our membership and our availability to seniors. At one time, we were at 810 Silver Spur, and our membership was quite a bit larger. Now we're going to have about twice as much space. And what we'd like to do is have activities that will attract, I guess, what I'd call younger seniors. A lot of people are becoming, 65, 70, and I think they would appreciate activities. And up to this date, we really haven't been able to have very many activities. We can do anything we want, one activity at a time. Right. We looked at some spaces. We were looking at possible rental spaces in this area. And one of the things about some of the shopping centers, they're not really owned by local people. And we felt that ultimately we would be much more secure if we dealt with somebody who was a local person who lived here, as Mr. Lundquist does, and has roots in the community. And so this became kind of the center of my focus.
We've always felt this was the center of the entire peninsula, and knowing a lot of folks that are involved in the seniors and seeing the home they currently have, we realized that a new home in this location would make a tremendous amount of sense, and we worked with the library and PV Arts Center and Norris Center before over the last almost decade to assist them in having some temporary uses here, and now we're looking for a permanent home for the seniors, and I think it'll be great.
This very space that we're presently in represents about a third of the total area that we're going to be using. This area that we're standing in ends right here, and then we keep going. And in total, we'll have 4,778 square feet to develop. You'll be coming into the main lobby reception area. We'll have a library waiting mix. The staff will work in this area. The back porch is an area then that we would cut this back wall out, build a deck, and be able to have a little bit of an outdoor feel to this, having barbecue, bar, dining, and lounge. We have a conference room, and then you go into the main multi-purpose space, which subdivides into two by having this movable partition, which will, when it's not in use, rest into these two niches. And a smaller multi-purpose room, also splitting in half, and so you can have games and crafts and the like.
This will be an absolutely wonderful asset for our seniors and indeed for the entire community. Seniors make up a huge portion of our population, as you well know, and for them to have a central location for activities and seminars and educational programs and outings will be such a blessing for the entire community. We couldn't be more excited, and it's wonderful to see Continental Development Corporation and the Peninsula Seniors and many, many community volunteers who have had this as a dream for years.
The seniors are hoping to be in their new home in early 2014. And it was a family reunion of sorts in honor of former city founder Fred Hess, and many of our current city council members joined the celebration at Hess Park.
Basically what we have tonight is we have two of the children of Fred Hess Jr. and two of his grandchildren here, and interestingly enough, my wife, who is a PV Jr., had one of her sisters, one of her colleagues, mentioned to her that she was hosting the Hess family who happened to be traveling in from Norway. And it was my wife's idea, actually, who thought, well, maybe we should get some founders, people who actually knew Fred Hess. I obviously didn't know Fred Hess. The city was founded on September 7th of '73, but it was more than a decade prior, all the hard work that went into getting to that point. And it actually started with the League of Women's Voters, who three of these fine women who are here tonight were instrumental in that. You have Ken Dida here, who was part of I guess it would be the board for Save Our Coastline. It was the five main people, of which Fred Hess was one.
Fred Hess to me, Fred Hess is a word and a name that means freedom for Rancho Palos Verdes. It means it's the creation. He was the father of the city of Rancho Palos Verdes, but he was not from Rancho Palos Verdes. He was from Rolling Hills. In fact, he wasn't just from Rolling Hills. He was the mayor of Rolling Hills.
He devoted most evenings, all kinds of hours, to trying to figure out ways to, first of all, prevent very heavy density development, and then, as time went on, to get the formation of Rancho Palos Verdes accomplished.
Was able to pull us all together, the individual pieces that had been working to protect the peninsula, and it was a good fit, and he really led us to fruition the years in which we were able to become a city.
A wonderful help in educating me about land use. I had not given it much thought. I think it was Fred and the efforts of others who are here now that educated me to understand how important land use was, and particularly on this fragile edge of a continent.
Well, he was very busy always anyway, but he was mayor of the city. He was busy with work, flying and traveling a lot with work. But it made an impression on me that he was so busy and willing to commit time, on Saturdays and other weeknights and other times of the week for a local cause, for something that he believed in and something that he was passionate about. So it did make a very big difference on me in just what commitment can do and bringing people together for a cause.
Well, when I came back as an exchange student, I went to college, so I was in Santa Barbara after that. And then after Santa Barbara, I moved to Norway. So I haven't actually been back living here after that time. So I moved away. I live in Norway, and when I come back to California, I come back to Palos Verdes, Rancho Palos Verdes, Rolling Hills. I go to Abalone Cove. I swim at Abalone Cove. It's now a public park. I love it. And when I got the chance to come back here and stay in a house in Palos Verdes, that was our choice.
Jerry was so magnanimous in putting this impromptu event together at the last minute with 48 hours to spare. And we have such a nice gathering here of people who were really, really honoring the incorporation and the city that we all reside and enjoy so much. So God bless Jerry, God bless all these people. Thank you.
Since back to school is right around the corner, that means students are starting to prepare for the fall semester. That also means lots of local shopping. I am here with Caitlin Simcoe. We are at Peninsula Center and we're talking about back to school. Caitlin, now have you started back to school shopping yet?
Not yet, but I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Okay, now what kind of things about going back to school kind of stresses you out?
Definitely the summer assignments is the main stress thing for me right now.
I know that they tell you not to do them too early, but now is pretty much crunch time to get it done, right?
It's definitely hard finding the balance between not starting them too early so you forget everything and then putting it off to the end, which is kind of what I'm doing right now. Not good.
Okay, now when does your routine sort of change from the summertime to getting back to school?
I try like a week before to get into kind of going to bed a little bit early, but it doesn't really happen. It kind of has to happen as you go through the year and realize you're going to die if you don't get into the schedule.
Okay, now what about like school supplies, binders and all those kind of things that you need?
I definitely try to get those a couple days in advance and organize all my stuff and kind of get back into the school zone.
I think that's a good point, is organizing yourself just to make sure that you might even like pick outfits out the night before so you're not rushed in the morning.
Oh, I definitely have like the first week all my outfits laid out in advance.
Okay, so now you're going to be a junior going into Peninsula this year, but what was it like the first year you went into high school, and did you go in advance to check the school out?
It was definitely stressful. I was a little worried about it, but my friends and we went to the campus. My friend's older brother showed us around, which was really nice of him, so we knew where everything was, all the classrooms, where everyone hung out, so it was good.
When you go to school, did you have people there that, like, even your first day that kind of showed you where to go? Or?
Yeah, I definitely had some older friends there, which was nice to kind of show me around and kind of how everything worked. But it's still stressful going in as a little freshman to this big high school. Now we're here at the Peninsula Center getting ready to talk to some students about going back to school. So Alex, what school do you go to and what grade are you in?
I go to Penn and I'm going to be a junior.
So are you excited for school to start?
Kind of.
What are you most stressed out about?
Summer assignments.
Have you started them yet?
I've read a book.
Well, that's better than I've done. Do you like going shopping for school supplies?
That's the best part of starting school.
Do you go shopping for clothes?
Of course.
With your friends?
Sometimes.
What have you bought so far?
Shirts, ties, pants, belts, and shoes.
Any style tips for coming back to school?
Keep it classy.
Have you gone shopping for school supplies yet?
Yeah, we got that done really early so we can just get it out of the way. It's much easier that way. Yeah. It's less stressful.
Don't leave it to the last minute.
Yeah. That's not a good idea.
So what's the most stressful part for you for going back to school?
Well, I'm always trying to find clothes that are in style, and I know the stores are limited, but I go to mainly Abercrombie and TJ Maxx. Those are my two really good stores that I like to go to.
Have you been doing a lot of shopping yet?
Yeah, well, yesterday I went shopping for 5 hours? Yeah, 5 hours with my friends, and I had a lot of fun.
So you definitely have a good start, right?
Yeah.
And what about for you? Is there anything stressful as a parent?
Not really, no. But it is. It's a little stressful because we want to make sure we get everything done before we leave on our vacation. So when we come back, everything's taken care of. So yeah, we got a head start on it now, and we hope to finish up hopefully today.
So do you think you guys are ready to get back into the whole school routine?
I think we still need some time. I think it'll be a couple more weeks after school starts when we'll probably start seeing that rhythm that we're used to.
What are you most excited about going back to school?
I'll make a lot more friends and be on computers doing science.
So you like science?
I love it.
Have you gotten all your school supplies yet?
Nah. No.
One of the major things that I've seen for the most part, they always come and look for in here in our store is the composition book. We always have it on sale, which is a great thing throughout the school year. Also, we also look for a lot of the combination locks. Right before they start school, they come in and try to get their locker set up, and so of course they're going to need their combination locks. One of the major things they look for is the 3 subject books. They also look for a lot of the cover books to cover their books as well. So things like that. Because we're a community store up in the hill, we do cater to a lot of the not only high school students but also the business type aspect of the community itself. But one of the things I've seen so far is they usually wait till the last minute. I know I do for the most part when I got kids, so we do wait for the last minute. I mean, that's because they need a shopping list to go by, and then they just go ahead and shop with whatever they need.
And in sports, the Dodgers Dream Foundation raises money to support recreational and educational programs throughout Southern California. This year, they held a bowling event, and one of our local residents, Joanne Ordway, attended the event where she had the opportunity to bowl for charity with some of her favorite Dodger players.
We're here with Joanne Ordway, also known as PB Joe, because she is the biggest Dodger fan of Rancho Palos Verdes. But you are here tonight to visit all of your boys in blue at a great bowling event which supports the Dodgers Dream Foundation.
Absolutely, and it is just the best event that they hold. I mean, you pay a lot of money to come here, but you have fun, you bowl, you get to get one-on-one with them, you get to take the picture with them, get their autographs as many times as you want, because they're very receptive of it. And you know what? They actually tell us how happy they are to be here, which is really nice to hear.
You know most of the players over the years. You've met them, you bring them brownies. I mean, you really know them, but this does give you more of an opportunity just to talk about regular things with these guys.
Absolutely. At the stadium, I get to say hi, have a good game or whatever, but I never really get to have a conversation. Tonight, I've gotten some really nice conversation with some players.
But they bring their families, so you really get to just see, hey, we're all just here having a good time together.
Exactly, and it's nice, they introduce their family to you, you get to talk to them, and it's just wonderful. I can't say anything else about it. It's absolutely fabulous.
All right, we have to ask Joe the question we're asking all the Dodger players. How is your bowling game?
Not good. Not good at all. I'm had Robert take over for me.
Okay, so who is bowling with you tonight?
It couldn't be more perfect. Clayton Kershaw, number 22.
Now, who else have you talked to tonight? I see a lot of the players are hanging out around here.
Oh yeah, Chris Capuano is in the lane right next to us. Paco is just unbelievably friendly. Chris Withrow is awesome. Tim Federowicz is awesome. I've had a great conversation with AJ. I mean, just about all of them. They're just always right there ready to have a conversation with you, which is unbelievable. Awesome.
always a fun event. And coming up this month, another fun event that will take you to the Terranea Resort to enjoy great music and support the local charity Freedom for You. I caught up with the president of Freedom for You, Dr. Greg Allen, who talks about the importance of keeping our teens on the right track by pursuing their passions through music.
This year we've adjusted the lineup a little bit, and one of the reasons is that Paul Smith, the legendary Paul Smith, has passed away recently. He was 91 years old, and he always played at our jazz festival and had a lot of people come out to hear him. So one of the things we are doing this year also is to honor him, and so some of his family's going to talk, and we're going to talk about him a little bit and his life. And so this year we have we kind of mix it up, but the main theme is jazz through the generations. So it's mentoring in the arts. So it's young and old playing together. So that's the theme, regardless of what the group is. So our headliner this year is the Jeff Hamilton Trio, and Jeff's one of the international current jazz star. He tours the world, and the jazz people know who he is, even if we haven't heard of him.
How do you decide who's going to come? Because there's so many great jazz musicians.
Well, you know, this whole idea, like everything we do at Freedom for You, the ideas come from the students, from teenagers or college-age kids. So I met with a few of the kids a few years ago, and they had this idea, why don't we do this kind of thing? You know, because a lot of the students learn from professionals and have a concert where it's highlighted, the emphasis on that relationship, and they play together. And so we kind of shaped that idea into this concert. So we kind of meet together and we talk about, you know, so who should play and who should we have this year. So this year really emphasized, besides Jeff Hamilton, who's more of he actually, I believe, lives around here. We're having a lot of local performers that perform around here. So Richard Sherman Trio with Bill Redd, who's a vocalist, are going to perform. And Bill's been nominated for 6 Grammys in his life, and he's won 3 Grammys. He's an incredible vocalist. And a special microphone he brings with him wherever he goes.
Okay, let's talk about the day itself, what time it starts, because it's phenomenal music all day long, and of course the venue.
Okay, so we're Sunday, August 25th. And before school starts, and 2 p.m. at Terranea Resort, outdoors on the meadows. It's a grass area that overlooks the ocean. It's a beautiful setting. You sit on the hillside and look down towards the stage and towards the ocean. And so 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock. And if you want to get tickets, you can get them at freedomcommunity.com, our website. Terranea is not selling tickets. So if you want to get a reserved chair, you can do that, or you can buy tickets the day of the event too there also.
Okay, and then if you don't want to sit in a chair, you want to bring your own blanket, can you do that?
Yeah, you can bring your blanket. You cannot bring chairs or seating or food or drinks. There's food and drinks for sale there, picnic kind of food, but you can bring blankets. You can actually bring a dog too if you want, or pet. That's allowed. Yeah.
It's just a great family event. Every year it gets bigger and bigger. I remember we shot, I think it was last year even, the entire hillside is just filled with people, so they need to get their tickets early.
Yeah, I would say so. And I think people come from, this is really a regional event because people come from Los Angeles County, Orange County. You know, it's like a major kind of jazz festival. And there's 5 different groups performing, and so it should be really, really exciting.
Now, did you and the students also decide to do jazz? I mean, you do lots of different kind of music, but...
Yeah, there's this kind of desire to emphasize what jazz is, how it works. And one of the things we have right now is some of our Molly and Sammy Miller, who are now our graduate students in music programs at USC and at Juilliard. They're leading a jazz camp we have going on right now. So it's 3 times a week for 3 weeks here at the Annex, and it's kids from 8th grade to 11th grade are attending. About 15 to 20 kids are attending, and all different instruments, and different teachers, young adult teachers are rotating in and teaching, and they'll be the first act that performs there. So it's really neat to see them learning this. A lot of people learn music and how to play music and follow music, but this jazz is they're learning improvisation. So learning their instrument more and more, being freer with themselves and their own creativity.
And then, of course, to give them an opportunity, you know, to play at a venue and an event like that is just amazing.
Yeah, they're the first performers up there, and so it's inspiring to see the kids up there.
The date of the event is Sunday, August 25th, and for more information on ticketing, you can go to their website at freedomcommunity.com. And finally, John Clayton takes us to one of the most creative shopping experiences in all of the South Bay.
This is obviously a warehouse. It even says so up there. But we're here in San Pedro. Does that mean it's something to do with fishes? Come with me and we'll go inside and discover. We're talking with Rachel, the executive director of a wonderful place called Crafted. It's filled with wonderful creative things, and rather than have me go on about it, tell us a little bit more about it, Rachel.
So Crafted is this wonderful place in the old Port of Los Angeles warehouses number 9 and 10. And it's a permanent year-round craft market, so the kind of people that you see at street festivals that do art and jewelry, upholstery, leather, they have a permanent home here. They can rent a 10 by 10 space from us or larger and brand it with their own signage and do their craft in their stall so that customers can enjoy it every day.
And what time are you open from until?
We're open right now Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. We do occasionally stay open a little bit later for special events, so check our website, craftedportla.com, to find out what those are.
As far as someone coming here, if they or if someone watching has a real creative idea for a booth, do they then come and sort of pitch you or contact you?
They can contact me, or anybody in the office can help them out. We have a sales and leasing manager that helps guide people through the process and explain how it works, although it's not really all that complicated. You get a 10 by 10 plywood stall, you can paint, you can put up shelving, you can put up a sign, whatever you like.
In terms of, this is a warehouse and we're in San Pedro. Years ago, was this, my English sense of humor, was this like filled with fish or something? What was this before?
This was built as a naval warehouse and it was completed in 1945. I think that the Navy did use it kind of minimally, but the war was over by the time it was done, so there wasn't as much need for it. And then the port operations have become more container-based and less warehouse-based. So while it was a warehouse use for some time, after a while it just wasn't needed anymore. The port used it for some things. It was used for police training, and then they were sitting vacant, and the port wanted somebody to come in and see their natural beauty and do something with it.
Just tell me one more time before we go and explore some of these booths. For people watching, it is geographically located where? Tell me again.
It's located in San Pedro on the LA waterfront at the corner of 22nd and Minor.
I can't believe that John Clayton went shopping without me. Well, I'll go next time. And that will do it for us. From everyone here at RPV TV, make it a great day.